Okay, I have started use chainsaws just a few years ago, and I have really tried to understand how to sharpen the chain, and that is especially important since I use a battery-powered chainsaw, and I have really learned that it is much more efficient when it's sharpened, and if it's not, it will just generate a lot of dust and battery will run flat quicker. So I've searched the internet, I've read, I've talked to people how to sharpen a chain. And I haven't really got it to work actually. It has been very good when you buy a new chain, and then when I start to sharpen it, I must say it's a downward slope. I never get back to the state it was when it was new, and sometimes it gets really bad. So my philosophy has been to collect chains that are not sharpened, and this is Swedish and means to be sharpened, and give this to someone that is a professional. And then I have purchased new chains that I can use as replacement. But now suddenly I think I have understood, and I can see all the mistakes I've done. So I want to share these mistakes with you, and I'm sure if you learn from me, you will save a lot of time and you will feel like a quite good sharpener, I think. So what I will do to test my thesis here is that I will take this chain that I really phased out. I thought there was no hope. I will put it on my chainsaw and I will show you how bad it is, and then I will try to sharpen it using my accumulated experience and ideas, and you will follow this and you will be able to comment and give me even more advices, and you will be able to learn. Okay, thank you. So I start by taking this chain off and replacing it with the very bad chain I have, and it will be interesting to see how bad it is. I will show you. So this is the chain. Okay. Okay, now we try with this very dull and bad chain and see how it works. Well, it doesn't work very well. I don't know if you see it perfectly, but there are several problems. It is very bad sharpened. I recognize that it goes slow. You can see that this is more like dust, no chips. And there's another problem. You see that it turns to the left, this track that I've made, so I tend to go more and more to the left, and that's complicated. I cannot go and saw from the other side because it won't follow in the same path. So several problems, or at least two. It's not sharpened and it turns. Okay, I'm back in the workshop here, and I will start to do the work trying to renovate this chain. And then I've learned there are two different objects here, and I've categorized them here. The first thing is that we need to correct this tendency to turn. After that we can sharpen the chain, and I have really tried to understand how to correct this tendency to turn, and I think I have an idea now. I have read what to do, and I have also tried to understand why we get this tendency to turn. So I will explain how I believe that the origin of that turning tendency. So if we look here at the teeth, there is one at each side. They are coming in order, so the cut is from left, from right, from left, and in that way it cuts off. It cuts like a track in the wood, and this is from the top side. Of course, the most work is done on this side below, so we have to consider what happens down here when we are working. So here is a simplified schematic of the teeth, the left and right, how they look here on the bottom side of the chain. So imagine that one of these sides are consequently filed too much, so that you file down the teeth on one of the sides. You can take the extreme, so we are only considering that there were only teeth on one side, like this. The other is totally taken away in the schematic to really simplify, but imagine that this is the teeth that do the work. The other one is really filed down, so it will not get in contact with the wood. What will happen then if we try to saw with only one articulated row of teeth? Well, my idea is that you would push these row of teeth so that it will turn like this. You will try to push the saw down, and the little teeth will then bend like this, and it will then turn. So in this case, when I had a turn to the left, I would imagine that the teeth on the right side of the saw are doing most of the work, while the teeth on the left side should be left alone for a while, and I should file down the right side teeth so that they reach the same height, the same length. And if I measure the teeth, I can find some support for this. It looks like I have filed too much on the left side, so they are slightly more filed down than the right side. 8 millimeter, 7.8, 7.8, and that is easy to explain. I think it's easier to work from this direction, so maybe I have not filed them equally. So mistake number one, that needs to be corrected. So now I shift the direction on the saw so that I can easily file the teeth on the right side. These ones needs to be sharpened down, and I will now show you mistake number two that I made. The first mistake was that I had not considered this need for equal length on the teeth. Mistake number two is that I've used a bad file. Listen to this sound. Bad. I have not used good file. Listen to the sound here instead. Completely different. So now I will file down the teeth to approximately 7.5 millimeters. I will measure, and I will actually not use a gauge. I will try to do this by hand now. I think I have it quite clear how to do it. There are three things to keep in mind. It's the angle that you apply on the tooth. It could be about 30% in this case. Then there is an angle in this direction, because the tooth has a slope up. As you file it down, it will come more and more down, and you can have the same angle on the file that the tooth has in itself, and that is about 10% up. So two angles to keep in mind, 30% and 10%. and then it's about the direction in this axis. Don't file it down, don't file it up. Eat on the tooth so that you get a good edge on the top. So I push the file back along the direction of teeth. Now I see that the chain is really bending as I work with it. That is a bit bad. I think I need to sharpen or tighten the chain a bit to get the better working environment here. So now it's time to go over the teeth on the left side. Just a little bit on these two. Okay, so now I have gone through and sharpened all teeth. And now I will make a check also of the rakers, if they are filed down so that I get the sufficient grip from each tooth. And then I use this gauge that I could have used also for the filing, for the sharpening, but I tried without this time. It's well instructed how to use it. I can show another mistake that I made actually. This one should be applied not like this when I do like that. You see the angle here? It should be applied like this, quite planar. So I've actually sometimes worked with this in the opposite direction, and that's catastrophic, of course. So you have to really study the instructions here, how to apply it. Nothing to take there. Oh, it looks good. Chain is not too aggressive. But not too defensive either. It's perfect. There's no need to file down the rakers, as I can see it. So we go out for another test now and see if this has been successful. I have taken down the teeth on the right side. On the right side to make it go straight, and I've also sharpened all the teeth, but focus was to get the same length on all teeth. This will be exciting. This will be success or fiasco. So we're back at the place of the very bad exercise before with the dull chain, and we'll see if this will work better. Exciting. Beautiful. So this was a great difference. The chips was better. It worked much faster through the wood. We got the planer cut. I can verify it by turn it around, and it matches very well all the way around. So this was a big difference. That was good when I made a video about this. I like to do one more cut just to see if it was real. That is a bit aggressive, I think. Okay, I'm a bit relieved that it worked well. Otherwise I wouldn't publish this video, of course, if it would have been a fiasco. But it worked well. The saw much quicker, and it did do this straight, so that was success. I noticed that there was some of these teeth that were a bit aggressive or something. It was not really harmonic, but that was a detail. So to summarize, I would say that use a sharp file. Some people say that you should not go straight back and forth with the file, you should only go forth. Maybe that could have been the reason I have used so many files. People say that they get unsharpened by that. Next advice is to use a gauge like this, or apply the angles that this will do strictly. That is about 30%, slight upwards 10%, and then adjust the height so that you file the tooth well. I will link to another video with a real professional that instructs very good about this. More advices from me is to make sure you file the teeth equal on both sides, and I think my main contribution to the chainsaw community could have been this attempt to explain why chainsaw can have a tendency to turn and how to adjust that. You have to consider how the different teeth work and what would happen if you have one tooth more articulated compared to the other side. Then you will have this tendency to turn. So you have to think what side to compensate. You can also measure, as I did with this. I guess that the metallic one would have been better in this case, because the plastic one, the tooth is so sharp, so it's really dig into the plastic, and I might get the small error there. Metallic would have been better. I think that is it. Thank you for listening. I hope I could contribute in some way, and I'm very interested in comments and to learn from you. So don't hesitate to write a comment. Thank you.